Hello there. Welcome once again to Living on Purpose. My name is Fola Daniel Adelesi, also known as Fola Daniel Speaks. Today, I want to tell you not to tie results to being lucky. There are some people who have an attitude that says that all the people who have succeeded are simply lucky. Oh, he got lucky. That's how he got that thing. Oh, she got lucky. That's how she married that man. Oh, it was just luck. There's nothing. No. Go and study people who have succeeded. There's a process to success. If there is no process, then you can call it a miracle. But everything called success has a process to it. What you need to study would be two things. Number one, the process. Number two, the principle. If you study what those who have become successful have done, you would realize that there was a process they always followed. Because if there is no process, you won't be able to replicate the success. So there is always a process to success. And in that process is a principle. It is not really the process, because sometimes process can look like routines. So if you just create the process and you begin to do it on a daily basis, you may be doing exactly what the other person is doing. But if you don't understand the principle behind the doing, you may just do their activities and not have their results. But if you want to have their results, then you have to do two things. Rather than just attributing rather than attributing success to luck, then you have to do two things. And those two things are, number one, study the process of people who have succeeded. And number two, find out the principles behind the process. If you can identify those two things, I guarantee that you will be able to replicate the success of other people. What exactly do you get in the place of mentoring when you go to listen to a mentor? The things they are trying to share with you can be summarized in two words. Number one, principle. Number two, process. And that's why some of them can confidently tell you that if you do what I have done, you will succeed. If you do what I have done, you will succeed. So you need to understand that you cannot tie results to being lucky. There is something that those successful people did, and there is something that you can do. There is something that people who are forging ahead in their business, there's something they are doing, and it is something that you can do as well. If you don't go and look at them, you can't assume that anybody is successful. I remember those days when we were in secondary school. We used to have some guys, and these guys were always excelling academically. They would score A's, they would do well, and we kept wondering, how were they succeeding? How come? We know these guys to be very playful. They appear to be unserious, and because they appear to be unserious, we didn't expect them to score A's in their school work. We didn't expect them to have distinction. But at the end of the day, when we studied some of them, we realized that they had a habit of playing during the day, but somewhere at night, when nobody would see them, they will sit down with their materials and study everything that needs to be studied. And that was their habit. So you will see them during the day and play with them. You would not understand that they had the times when they study, and they will study hard. Then when it comes to their exams, they will ace all their exams. Why would they ace all their exams? It's because they had an understanding of what study time works best for them. But other people would assume that they are unserious, play with them, and those other ones will end up failing at whatever exams that they have taken. It's the same thing in life as well. There are people you have looked at and you think, oh, these ones are unserious people. But you don't know what they do to become serious. You don't know how much time they spend doing research, talking to people, making the right connections, building the right networks to be able to succeed at what they do. If you always attribute success to luck, then it will become difficult for you to succeed. You know why? You are simply saying that there is no process or pattern to this thing. You are simply saying that there is no principle, so nobody can replicate it. And if you're saying that there is no principle, there is no process, there is no pattern, then nobody can replicate it. You will never be able to replicate it. Everything that people do has three things: processes, principles, and patterns. Processes, principles, and patterns. And so long as you identify the process, the principle, and the pattern that has helped everybody to achieve what they have achieved, then you will become successful. Why do you think that Manufacturers are able to replicate several copies of the same gadget, of the same device, of the same product. It's a simple thing. They have created a mold, first of all, to give you exactly the same design in multiple numbers. Then they have put in place a process. They have a pattern that they must follow, and there's a principle that gets those things to work exactly the same way. If they follow the principle with each product will look exactly the same way, and they will perform exactly the same results. That's why you can have 1,000 gadgets doing exactly the same thing with the same quality. So don't ever tie success to luck. Success is not luck. Oh, don't just say, oh, they just got lucky. I remember talking to somebody and they were asking the person, people say you were lucky. That's how you succeeded. And the person answered by saying, well, if you want to know how lucky I am, or if you want to understand my definition of luck, then come and see how hard I work. Luck for me is hard work. But after putting all the hard work, that's when the luck came. So why don't you work hard and then let the luck happen to you at the end of the day? So don't attribute success to being lucky. Find out the work that people put in to become successful. Find out the processes that they went through or that they constantly understand, and find out the patterns that they are working on. Find out the principle as well that they understand. So you will see 3 things, as I've said, in everything that people do to be able to replicate success. And those 3 things again are principles, processes, and patterns. In everything that people do, those 3 things are there. It's not luck, it's work. It's not luck, it's hard work. Begin to do that hard work today, and you'll realize that those who are succeeding weren't just lucky. They worked at it, even though it appears that they are not doing much. Thank you for listening. My name once again is Fola Daniel. So please head on to www.foladanielspeaks.com or go to youtube.com/Fola Daniel Speaks. Thank you.